Throughout our timeline, we have witnessed different phases of the education system in India. During ancient times, we had the Gurukul system, where knowledge, healthy teacher-student relationship, and all-round character development went hand in hand. World-class institutions like Takshila, Nalanda attracted students and scholars from far and wide, who gave us geniuses like Aryabhatta, Shushruta, Chanakya, and so on. However, with the advent of the European rule in the country, the education system gradually morphed into a rote learning one.
Indians, made to believe that their own culture was worthless, started getting detached from it. Although the colonizers left, their mark didn't. Rather, it became more pronounced as years passed, turning the education system dangerously Marx-centric, while the rest of the world strode towards application and critical thinking based education. This resulted in the lack of knowledge and basic sense, while increasing undue academic pressure on students.
For a change, in the years 1968 and 1986, the Indira Gandhi-led government and the Rajiv Gandhi-led government respectively introduced new education policies. However, their policies could not meet the standards of the present time. Thus, on 29th of July 2020, after 34 long years, the Narendra Modi-led government introduced the National Education Policy 2020.
In this video, we shall try to answer the question, is NEP 2020 pragmatic or theoretic?
The 5+3+3+4 structure as proposed by NEP 2020 might prove to be a game changer. Why I say so? Well, firstly, the extension of the Right to Education Act to 3 years of age as the lower limit and 18 years of age as the upper limit will provide opportunities for the underprivileged students to have proper brain development in their early schooling, as well as have proper faculty and facilities for their schooling from classes 9 to classes 12. Secondly, preschooling with ECCE qualified teachers will help build a solid foundation for the students' primary, secondary and higher secondary education. Third, concept-based examination or conceptual examinations will help promote the idea of learning by understanding rather than learning by mugging, setting up a PURB, a regulatory body whose sole purpose and responsibility will be setting up standards for regular and formative assessments. This can prove to be a mind-blowing idea too, because according to this policy, the assessments will now be holistic, 360-degree, and shall include self-assessment and peer assessment in addition to teacher-based regular assessments. Now this will help the students build not only self-introspection capabilities but also help them to introspect their peers as well. Also, this will help them to lead a development-oriented lifestyle.
Under this program, each student shall be assisted to attain foundational literacy and numeracy by grade 3, while the estimated 5 crore students in the elementary grade are to be included in the ECCE program. No attention has been paid to the deplorable state of such class 3 graduated students already who are lacking in the same, especially among SEDGs. The policy prescribes a pupil to teacher ratio of under 30:1 for each school. SED areas shall aim for under 25:1. For such, the required number of teachers would be around 15 to 20 lakhs. The recruitment, training and deployment of such a large number of candidates requires proper supervision and implementation to avoid slandering of resources, a further ailment being here bridging the social and linguistic gaps between the pupils and teachers. The policy directs state governments to draft innovative approaches to consolidate schools within a radius of 5 to 10 kilometers into a complex consisting of a secondary school and all other schools that offer lower grade in its neighborhood, including Anganwadis. But the first major problem here is in the allocation of resources and maintaining a hierarchy among the school complex. Also, questions pertaining to the behavior of the school complex on difference in admission processes, linguistic, board and curricula go unanswered. Also, another major doubt here is in the medium of instruction. While many secondary schools in India adopt a particular medium of instruction, some schools which have a different mode shall be at a significant disadvantage. For example, in West Bengal, majority schools are English or Bengali medium, and while minor in number, there are schools which are Hindi medium. Students of such schools, when integrated into a school complex along with the students of Bengali or English medium schools, are bound to face a linguistic barrier. In Indian society, vocational education and jobs like carpentry, blacksmith are seen in a low light. Reasons behind such a mindset are impoverished conditions, poor infrastructure, and extreme manual labor in return of a low pay. It is seen as an alternate to general academics. While NEP 2020 states few steps, the following are also a must to ensure that we alter this situation. Number 1. Building infrastructure in vocational education. Number 2. Availability of jobs. Number 3. Changing parent mindset about vocational careers. Number 4. Encouraging such talents to pursue careers abroad. The policy aims to make India a global study destination, but this is a long-term call. For international students to land in India for further studies, educational quality, job prospects and standards need to meet that of more developed countries. Stipends and academic grants also need to be at par with that of first-tier institutions in developed countries. Problems like excessive political and bureaucratic interference in universities, excessive emphasis on caste and other adages rather than merit also need to be got rid of. To elevate the value of an Indian degree to international standards, proper focus on research and results also need to be increased, along with encouragement of social acceptance of the value of pursuing research fields rather than holding on to a few select professions like law, engineering and medicine. While keeping this in mind, the significant issue of brain drain also needs to be addressed, which NEP 2020 does, but only vaguely. Currently, there are 868 universities, 156 institutes of national importance, and 52,627 colleges, both general and discipline specific, granting degrees in undergraduate and postgraduate education in India. While the policy emphasizes on the need to expand the current institutes of higher education into larger multidisciplinary ones, the major problem here will be the consolidation of such a large number of the same. The policy's aim of an HEI in each district by 2030 may clog up a system already suffering from non-uniformity of HEIs across the country. It also states that such HEIs shall be branded into autonomous degree granting colleges, teaching intensive colleges and research intensive colleges, but provides no rigid separation among them. Such a distinction will also require the improvement of current lackluster research facilities. Moreover, such a system shall be rendered useless if such HEIs shift focus over time. The multiple entry and exit system proposed for undergraduate education also poses few doubts. Number 1. Design of curricula. It's not expected that a research scholar requiring detailed analysis of a subject shall have the same first-year syllabus as that of a student aspiring for a one-year diploma. This also implies that the choice of degree course shall have to be made at the beginning of undergraduate education, which has had no discussion upon. Number 2. Job prospects for a partial degree. Suppose a student with a one-year diploma and a vocational degree, and another student with a 3-year degree course and limited vocational experience apply for a particular job, then whom to choose? Similar cases arise in multiple areas.
The three-language formula was first conceived in the year 1948 by the University Education Commission. It took precedence of countries like Switzerland and Belgium. However, in a country like India, which has 23 official languages against 4 of Switzerland, implementation of such a policy in our country seems to be too ambitious. However, there is an added advantage to this policy. It has been seen that more the number of languages a child learns, better his brain develops. However, if the policy is not well implemented, or if there's a misinterpretation of the policy, it can result into a decreased stress upon English, especially upon the spoken form of the language, which can have adverse effect in a country like India, where English serves as a bridge language between various regions. NEP 2020 aims at making the mother tongue of the students the medium of instruction at schools. Now, there are certain advantages to this. Research shows that student understands concepts better and grasps foreign languages at a faster rate when taught in their own mother tongue. Second, it will help break the social stigma that speaking in English is a status symbol. However, there are certain problems to this as well. First, decreased stress upon English as a medium of instruction, especially at a time when English is not only becoming a global language, but its influence upon the Indian private firms as well as in certain Indian PSUs is continuously increasing, does not seem to be a good idea. The implementation of such a policy may have adverse effect upon the careers of the youth. For example, in the year 1981, the Jyoti Basu-led government introduced such a policy in West Bengal. This resulted into decreased job prospects of the Bengali youth.
Even though our country is progressing each day, some social stigmas just refuse to budge. One of the major examples of such is the stigma around basic human biology. Day by day, the stigma around free expression and discussion of sexual problems is intensifying. As is evident, one of the major outcomes of such is the increase in the number of rape cases, which can only stop when society adopts an open-minded outlook on such topics and educates the younger generation to respect everyone irrespective of gender. This can only occur when students are groomed in such a path from an early age. Adults also need to be taught systematically on such topics, as they are the ones who are grooming the future India.
In a country which practices universal adult franchisee, it becomes very important for the students of standard 11th and 12th to be instructed with political education. It teaches them how to vote, how to value their vote, and how to choose a candidate to vote for. It helps them to understand that the Constitution not only guarantees them the basic human rights, but there are several other rights that the law of the land bestows upon them. Such a kind of education was never a part of the Indian education system, and we feel that as a reform, it should have been included in the national education policy.
Today, financial knowledge has become a must for more or less everyone. Heavyweight topics like GDP, mutual funds, stock markets, and so on are gaining ground rapidly. But our education system shows no endeavor on such awareness. Neither does NEP 2020. Also, as is heard from multiple experts, for India to become a major economic power and Vishwaguru, more creativity in the form of startups needs to come up from among the youth, which shows no such sign, stuck among mere money earning and expectation burdens. Only can such an awareness enable job creation and business growth, thus helping India to dream of a vibrant economy in future.
In India, we have 32 state boards, 3 national boards and 2 international boards taking care of secondary and higher secondary education in the country. These boards differ in their curricula, their method of teaching, as well as their standard of evaluation. In some, the standard of teaching is below par, while in the others, the curricula is unnecessarily vast. In certain boards, it has been seen that the method of evaluation increases the academic pressure upon the students. Thus, as a reform, we think that a uniformity must have been introduced among the various Indian boards.
Was our take on NEP 2020. Do let us know what you think about it in the comments. If our approach appeals to you, do not forget to like and share this video, and do follow our Instagram and Facebook pages and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Links given in the caption. Stay tuned for our post on the Mythbusters of NEP 2020. Till then, towards knowledge, towards awareness.